What's going on, everybody? Chrome on Rust here. I'm going to be going over that 5 mil CM Wizard set that I built in my previous video to show you like what MP I thought it was comfortable to farm on, and then go over some times and how fast I was able to kill elites and different MPs. So if you think about making the set, this information should be helpful to you. Then I'm also going to go over like proc rates and breakpoints for the CM Wizard. So this is not information that I actually had to come up with. It was pretty easy to find. A lot of people have already done the testing, and they say Insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting different results. So I didn't want to be an insane person or anything like that. So I'm just going to share their information with you, and then this is me in the background farming a key and MP10 in Act 1. Then also in the description, I'm going to leave some links to some sites that are going to be pretty helpful if you're thinking about going the way of the CM Wizard. Just some more breakpoints and proc rates, and then a little bit more in-depth guide about the CM Wizard itself. So do go ahead, check that out if you want to. So this list of skills that I have up here, this is going to be the tank build for the CM Wizard. If you're running this 5 mil set on MP10, or if you just have another set and you're having trouble with survivability, go ahead, try including some of these runes and these skills, and they really will help you out. I'm going to get to Energy Twister. I'm going to save that one for last. This first skill that I'm going to talk about, Teleport with Wormhole, this is going to provide you the most mobility. So if an elite pack has like the frozen modifier on there, you're going to be able to get to safety really, really fast. And this is the one that I recommend and I like to use. There are some other things that I'll talk about. For extra damage, you can go with Slow Time with Time Warp. Also, there's Stretch Time. I know that one's highly used as well. I mean, really, you could put whatever you want here. I know some people run Blizzard as well, and then some people will also run like Magic Weapon with Blood Magic for some extra damage and that 1.5% extra lifesteal. Our first skill that's going to be dealing damage is going to be Frost Nova, and you're going to want to use Cold Snap for the survivability. Once again, you could use other things like Bone Chill. That's really good if you're trying to increase your damage, but Cold Snap is going to be reducing your time that the skill is in cooldown. So that means you're going to be able to cast it more often and be able to freeze more often. So if they're getting out of your freeze abilities and you're not using Cold Snap, go ahead, try this one out. Now, it's going to have a 0.67 proc chance. So what that means, it's going to be giving you 16.7 of your life on hit, or you're going to be getting 16.7 of your arcane power on crit. So our next skill is going to be Explosive Blast with Chain Reaction. This is the one that I like to use. You could change out for some of the other runes as well. But Chain Reaction, it's going to have a 0.11 proc chance. And what that's going to mean is you're going to be, same thing, you're going to be getting 11.1% of your life on hit, or 11.1% of your arcane power on crit. So it is going to be for each one. So this is going to hit 3 times. So I'll just go ahead and show you here. And you can count them 1, 2, and 3. So each one of those is going to have 11.1% chance. So it's going to be a total of 33.3%. Our next skill is going to be Diamond Shell or Diamond Skin with Crystal Shell, and I recommend using this once again for survivability. For some damage, you could use Diamond Shards. I know that one's used a lot as well. Energy Armor, you're going to want to use some kind of armor here, whether it's like Ice Armor or Storm Armor. I haven't really tested out with Ice Armor, so I can't say for it. But Energy Armor with Prismatic Armor is going to be really good for survivability. Once again, if you're going for damage though, Shocking Aspect with Storm Armor is really good as well. For the passives, Crit Mass, can't change this one. You have to use it. That's why it's called a Critical Mass Wizard or a CM Wizard, is because of this passive here. Crit hits are going to have a chance to reduce the cooldown of your spells by 1 second. That's why we're focusing heavily on attack speed and crit chance. So this passive will be able to be efficient. The other 2 passives here, you're going to be able to change them out. For survivability though, once again, Blur and Evocation are going to be your best bet. I actually wasn't running Evocation on MP10. I was using the Cold-Blooded Ruin on there, or the Cold-Blooded passive, for the extra 20% damage against chilled and frozen monsters. Another one you could use for survivability is going to be Unstable Anomaly. So that means when you get your health is really low, it's going to heal you and also blast all the mobs away from you. So that's pretty decent. Now for the last one that I was saving, Energy Twister. This is the one that's going to have the breakpoints on it. First though, you're going to want to stick with Wicked Wind. You can use something else. If you've been experimenting a lot with the build and you feel comfortable throwing on something else, you could. But this is the most highly used skill or rune for the CM Wizard. I'm not sure exactly what you could use. You could go ahead, test them out though. And it's going to have a 0.25 proc percent. And so what that's going to mean same thing. Once again, 12.5% of your life on hit, 12.5% of your arcane power on crit. But like I was saying, it's going to have the breakpoints on it. So we hit that 2.3077. I know I said 2.31. That's what it's going to show up in your actual stats here. You see here we are at 2.31. But if I go over to D3 Up, the site I keep talking about, it is really good to go and check out. I actually have like a 2.09, something like that, attacks per second. So I'm actually only breaking the attack speed by like 0.02 roughly. Some other breakpoints though, 2.001, that's going to be providing you 26 ticks. 2.1429, 28 ticks. 2.3077, now that's the mark that we hit. This build is going to have 30 ticks per Wicked Wind. This guy there. Also, there's some other breakpoints. 2.5001, 33 ticks. 2.7273, 36 ticks. And then there's also going to be 2.0001 for all the ballers out there. You're going to be getting 40 ticks. So there are some other breakpoints as well, but those are going to be your major ones that you're going to be trying to hit. So there are some things about the skills. They're going to have cast time animations. So if I were to cast all three of these skills and teleport at the same time, I'm going to be able to do it, but there is going to be a slight delay in the cast of the skills themselves. And it's going to be the same thing with the Energy Twister. If I were to cast Energy Twister and teleport, I'm going to teleport, and then there's going to be my Energy Twister. I'll go ahead and show you here. Or it might go the other way if you're a little bit faster with Energy Twister. Just like that, I was able to Energy Twister and then teleport. So that's just some things to go ahead and note. So there was one other thing that I forgot to mention on our last topic, and that is where you place your skills on your hotbar or your action bar or your skill bar or whatever you call it. You're going to want Energy Twister on one of your mouse buttons. You're going to be able to hold that button down and continually cast it. Unlike your Frost Nova, your Explosive Blast, and your Diamond Skid, you're going to want those on the 1, 2, and 3 keys because you're going to have to mash them continually. It's going to be like Mortal Kombat for Sega all over again. When your buddy's sitting over there mashing buttons and you're trying to do skill shots, that's exactly what it's going to be. And it's going to turn what they call a forearm, and now referred to as a CM muscle, into something that's like this, into one of these. Nice and big. Well, let's go ahead and move into this topic now. It was going to be a little bit longer, but I found this nice .ed.gov site where I can make some pretty cool graphs. So here's this nice line graph that you can go ahead and check out. If you want to link to the site, I can link it. And what this shows is the monster power versus the time I spent killing the 5 elites with the 90k damage that I had. So you can see there's a huge decrease between MP9 to MP10. And if you like pie graphs, boom, I'll throw this one up so you can get a pretty good idea. And we can gather that going from MP9 to MP8, there's not a huge difference. But when you go from MP8 to MP7, there's a big difference. So before I even came up with these graphs, I was thinking that MP7, 6, and 5 were going to be your best bet. Now whether you're going to want more drops from the bonus item for white mobs, you go with a higher monster power then, or if you're going to want more monster or more magic find, you're going to want a higher monster power experience. It's going to have to be something that you weigh in your own equation of what you're actually trying to gather from your play time. So that's actually pretty much it for this part. It was nice and short. Like I said, these cool graphs, I can leave a link in the description below if anybody wants to go ahead and check out this site. It's like some kid zone or something like that. I was like, hey, whatever, I don't care. These are pretty nice graphs. So please do like and subscribe if you want to see more content from me. I try not to mash it into your brains in every video because I just don't feel like it's necessary. But I would like to continue to come out with content for you. So please do go ahead and subscribe if you have not already. And that's going to be it for me. I'm Chrome on Rust for Core Expert Gaming, and you all have that great day that I'm always talking about.